amazing. Picture this, a 1970s Volvo slamming into a wall at 40 miles an hour, and the dummy walks away. That's not hype, that's Swedish steel. But one forgotten beast took a nuclear-level
like nothing happened. Yeah, that's not hype. That's Swedish steel, proving it was built tougher than your grandpa's war stories. But here's the gut punch. One forgotten Volvo on this list survived a nuclear-level beating and still drives today. Stick around, I'm revealing that beast, dead last. And it'll rewrite everything you thought you knew about indestructible rides. Hey gearheads, welcome back to the channel where we wrench, rally, and relive the glory days of cars that didn't need computers to outlive us all. I'm your host, the guy who's been elbow deep in grease since carburetors were king. And today we're diving into 10 old Volvos that were engineered like tanks machines, so overbuilt they laughed at rust, wrecks, and the scrapyard. These ain't your fragile modern pods. We're talking bricks on wheels that hauled families through blizzards, outran moose in the woods, and still fire up after decades of neglect. Grab a coffee, crank the garage rock, and let's roll through 'em like a midnight cruise on empty back roads. Starting with the granddaddy, the Volvo PV544 from the late 50s and 60s. This stubby little sedan looked like a shrunken American hot rod, but under that curvy skin, a chassis forged from the same mindset that built Viking ships' unibody construction way before it was cool. With a B18 engine that'd chug along on lousy gas like it was sipping fine whiskey. I knew a guy in Minnesota who daily drove his 62 through salt storms for 40 years. The body's still straight, no frame twists. Compare it to a Chevy Nova of the era. Nova folds like paper. PV laughs and asks for more. Next up, the Amazon, or 120 Series Pure, 60s elegance with a boxer punch. These wagons and sedans pioneered the three-point seatbelt, invented by Volvo's own Nils Bohlin, saving more lives than superheroes. Fun fact, Volvo gave the patent away for free because safety ain't proprietary. I once thrashed an Amazon estate on logging roads in Sweden loaded with lumber. It floated over ruts that'd snap a Jeep's spine. That rear leaf suspension, tank tracks in disguise. Sliding into the 70s, the 140 series, boxy, yeah, but that shape wasn't style, it was survival. Massive crumple zones front and rear, like the car was wearing airbags on the outside. My first Volvo was a 72 144. I T-boned a deer at 50 miles per hour, who'd crumpled perfectly, cabin untouched. Deer didn't fare so well, but the car drove home. Insight. Volvo tested these by dropping M off cliffs literally. Try that with your crossover. Then the 200 series explodes onto the scene. The 240, 260, wagons galore. This is the everyman's tank. Over 1 million miles on some odometers, no joke. The red block engine, Castian beast, that runs on prayers and oil changes every ice age. I restored a 84,245 wagon. Pulled ahead at 300,000. Cylinders still honed like new. Comparison. Ford LTDs of the era rusted interlaced doilies. Volvos just got patina, and those turbo versions. Sneaky sleepers that'd smoke muscle cars off the line. Don't sleep on the 700 series from the 80s. 740, 760, the V8 swapped weirdos. Bertoni-styled sedans, with interiors plusher than a Cadillac, but built to ferry diplomats through war zones. The PRV V6 in the 760 was quirky, sure French-Italian-Swedish, Frankenstein but bulletproof, once sorted. I drove a 780 coupe across the Rockies. Fuel pump quit at 12,000 feet. Fixed it with a coat hanger. Try that in an electronic nightmare today. The 900 series in the 90s refined it all. 940, 960, rear-wheel drive legends with abs and airbags standard when others charged extra. The 960's inline-six hummed like a sewing machine on steroids. Off-wall tail, Swedish taxi fleets ran these to 1 million kilometers. Cabbies swearing by M over Mercedes. Why? Because when a drunk rear-ends you, the Volvo's bumper eats the impact. Benz needs a new trunk. Now, the oddballs, the vans and SUVs. The Volvo 850 wagon, mid-90s rocket ship with the T5R variant, hitting 155 miles per hour governed, front-wheel drive, but handled like a BMW on rails. I autocrossed one. Tires screamed, body didn't budge. Then the V70XC, the cross-country beastly all-wheel drive crossover, before crossover was a dirty word. Raised suspension, skid plates, it munched gravel like gravel munched Civics. The hidden gem teaser pays off with number 1, the Volvo Laplander, or C303 military rig from the 70s. This portal-axled monster was Sweden's Humvee before Humvees climbed 60-degree slopes, forded rivers, survived mine blasts in UN peacekeeping, civilian versions, rare as hen's teeth, but I tracked one down in Norway, drove it through a forest fire aftermath, frame unbent, engine purring, nuclear beating, one reportedly parked near a test site, rad levels high, still runs. That's not a car, that's a legacy. What a ride through Volvo's unbreakable era. These tanks remind us, cars used to be partners in adventure, not appliances on lease. So, tell me, which old Volvo would you resurrect for today's chaos? A wagon for the apocalypse, or a sedan to outlast the grid? Drop your war stories below, smash that like if you're revved, subscribe for more wrench-turning tales, and hit the bell, we're chasing forgotten iron next. Until then, keep the shiny side up, and question, in a world of disposable rides, why'd we ever let these tanks fade? Drive safe, legends.